We have another busy day of NHL waiver wire activity. We have a variety of claims and another new player on waivers today. We'll discuss all the activity coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have some more news from the NHL waiver wire. We've had a lot of players on waivers as NHL teams prepare to be cap compliant and have their 23-man rosters set for opening night, which they have to have by this evening. So certainly lots of activity and movement. We actually had 4 different players end up changing teams this afternoon from being claimed on NHL waivers, and a bunch more obviously ended up clearing. Names that were not picked up today, including Pierre Engvall, the Islanders, on a long-term contract, 6 years remaining. That's not surprising. As much as players, teams might like the player, they're not going to like the contract, so that's going to be a major deterrent. Eric Brandstrom, who was just traded to the Canucks and placed on waivers yesterday, also cleared. So he was an interesting one. He was under $1 million on a one-year deal. Just like Tucker out of St. Louis, I thought left shot defenseman making under $1 million might be of interest. Yan Unique and Adam Gaudette in Ottawa both cleared. I thought they might have interest. Other clubs, Matt Murray in Toronto, Marshall Riffai as well with the Leafs. So all those guys have cleared. But we have seen Zach Aston Reese be claimed. He was with Vegas. He was put on waivers, and now he's a member of the Columbus Blue Jackets. So the Jackets claim Aston Reese from Vegas. Vegas has also made a couple of claims themselves, which we'll get into in a second. So for Columbus, we've been talking about how they wanted to acquire a couple of extra forwards. Well, they've now done that in recent days. They picked up Kevin Labanc, and now they got Aston Reese on waivers. If I'm not mistaken, I think Labanc and Aston Reese are both from the same area. I'm pretty sure they grew up playing together, if I'm not mistaken. I know very familiar with each other for sure. So that's a couple of players going to the Blue Jackets with a bit of an experience as well. And the good news is they didn't have to give up any assets. They were able to get, obviously, Aston Reese here today on waivers, and Labanc wasn't signed by New Jersey in training camp on a PTO, and they were able to snag him as a free agent. So a couple of good moves there from Don Waddell just to fill some roster spots. The Jackets are also dealing with sounds like the Boone Jenner injury that popped up in practice the other day is turning out to be pretty serious and could see him out longer term. So that's another big blow to a franchise that's been through so much already. Like I said, Vegas, very active here today. Vegas has made 2 claims. They picked up Raphael Lavoie from the Edmonton Oilers and Cole Schmidt from the Calgary Flames. Both players were limited NHL experience. They both only played 7 NHL games so far. I know in the case of Lavoie, he was a second-round pick in 2019. Has decent size and skating, good shot, but has kind of struggled to figure it out at the NHL level. Good American Hockey League numbers, good junior numbers. So we'll see if he gets opportunity. Obviously, when you're claimed on waivers, you have to stay in the NHL. So they'll at least be in the NHL with Vegas to start. And if they're doing well, Vegas obviously will likely hang on to them. And if they struggle and Vegas decides they're not the right fit, then they can put them back on waivers and either lose them to another team or put them in their minor league system. So Lavoie and Schmidt will both end up on Vegas's opening day NHL roster at the very least. And another claim as well, goaltender, veteran goalie, that is James Reimer. Picked up, who signed with the Buffalo Sabres and is now in Anaheim Duck. Reimer, of course, was going to be the number 3. I know going into training camp, I wasn't sure where Devin Levi, obviously the young goalie who they still have a lot of hopes for in the future. They obviously brought in Reimer as like an insurance piece or somebody to compete with him in camp. Levi clearly was their preferred number 2 right out of the get-go here. So Reimer goes on waivers, and with the Ducks having John Gibson out for, I think they said up to 6 weeks because he had emergency surgery, appendectomy, just not long ago. So that'll help them. He'll play with Dostal for the time being. Once Gibson comes back and is healthy, Reimer could end up on waivers again. It wouldn't be completely shocking, but they also have the cap space that they don't have to worry. They could carry 3 goalies if they don't want to give them away for nothing, but at the same time, we'll have to see. It doesn't really make sense for them to do that either, so we'll have to see how they handle things. New on waivers today is Austin Watson, who signs his contract after being on a PTO with the Detroit Red Wings. He is signing a 1-year, 2-way deal, and of course, where it's a 2-way deal, if they want to see or consider having him available to be sent down, he has to clear waivers. So he is on waivers here today. You never know if he'll get picked up or not. I would say probably not, but we'll find out tomorrow afternoon. So lots of activity in that sense. So there could be other activity this afternoon as teams kind of do some juggling here to try to finalize their opening night rosters and be cap compliant or not. So certainly stay tuned to Top Shelf Hockey. I'll keep you up to date with all the news, rumors, and analysis of all 32 NHL teams. If there's more activity, we'll be back with another video. Otherwise, we'll be doing another video this evening with all the latest news around the league, kind of recapping everything else that's going on. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.